Hi everybody, welcome to another Yonac Magellan 2 tutorial. In this video I would like to talk to you about controls and also direct modulation. So first thing, let's click on the preset here and on the init as well so that we can initialize the preset to the default one. And also for the purpose of this tutorial, ensure that you have here the control enabled, the XY. You can disable it, of course. And you can also your toggle or not toggle activated for a keyboard depending on your preferences. So let's go to the filter section and let's ensure that we have at least one filter, like a low pass filter, enable, and let's decrease a little bit the frequency as well. Perfect. And let's add some contour as well. Perfect, and perhaps a bit of decay. And a little bit more resonance. Okay, let's go also to the amplitude envelope, perhaps increase the decay, take down the sustain, put a bit of release as well. Maybe too much release. Let's go back to the filter and let's decrease a bit the frequency there, and also rebalance between F1 and F2, and also enable also a second low pass filter. Okay, so let's go to the control section. In previous videos we have talked about LFO 1 and 2, and also we talked about modulation envelope. So what you can also do is to apply some direct modulation. So, and this is where you can apply direct modulation. So you first choose a target, like so. So let's say, for example, that we want to change the filter 1 frequency. Then we decide what control that target. So in this case, for example, we can say LFO1, and then we decide on the amount that we like to change from the control onto the target. Let's try. So as you can hear, the LFO1 is actually triggering or impacting, affecting filter 1 frequency. You have full direct modulation. Let's apply another one. For example, let's go to I don't know, the second frequency. Let's get LFO2 and let's apply some modulation there. As you can hear, there are two LFO impacting the frequency on filter 1 and filter 2, and of course this depends on the frequency for LF1 and LF2. So let's increase a little bit LF1 to hear better the difference between LFO1 and LFO2 impacting on the different frequency. Okay, perfect. So we can add other direct modulation. So this is great because you can quickly apply a modulation without going through changing a lot of parameters, and if not, you can use them as an additional 4 direct modulation settings. Below this section there is a part on the screen called Z velocity. So here is where you can apply how much of the amplitude of filter 1, filter 2 or frequency modulation will be impacted by key velocity. So So for example, if you were to increase amplitude to 100, you will find them based on the pressure that you give to the keys, that your amplitude will be changed accordingly to the velocity coming in through MIDI messages. And the same for filter 1, 2 and frequency modulation. The next section is about the XY pad, which is this one here, which we have seen on the first video of these series of tutorials. And here is where you can customize it. So here at the moment it is set on the horizontal axis, the x-axis, to change the filter 1 resonance, which is, you can also see here. And on the y-axis or vertical axis is set to change the filter 1 frequency, which is also reported there. And as you know, if you hold a note, so let's click on hold. Let's change the amplitude. Let's give it some sustain. Let's actually let me tell you what, let's initialize it so you can hear better the difference without changing all the different parameters. Let's apply no more low pass filter and reduce a bit the frequency. As you can hear, I'm moving up, the frequency is changing. And also the resonance horizontally. The other thing you can do is to further customize it. At the moment, as you move this, the dot on the pad, it stays where you leave it. Okay, but if you say snap it to the on the horizontal axis, when you move it, it goes back to the original horizontal position. And the same you can do also vertically. It goes back to the original one. You can also set it to lock so that these settings are not impacted when you load presets. And you can of course change what you like to modify through the pad, horizontally or vertically through this selection and this also selection over here. Okay, this section conclude the explanation on modulations. So we'll move on the next video to talk about arpeggiator. See you next time.